you need to go to the camps and impress them. Because if they're not responding to you, then the only way to get their attention is basically at the camps. Can you go D1 as a national champion in Canada? Depends. We need to see your video. Does your NAIA eligibility transfer to D1 schools? Also, is it possible for a freshman at D1 to be 21? If you've played NAIA, it will affect your NCAA eligibility, and you can technically be 21, but you not necessarily be a freshman. To double check green jumper, you would have to call the NCAA, and that's something, of course, I could help you with if you need. Can go from that one. Sorry, Instagram, I missed you. I live near Stanford, Cal, Santa Clara. They have elite camps for middle school coming up. Are these worth the cost? It would depend, NorCal Soccer Girl, the level of your daughter, or I'm assuming daughter. If I believe she's a high level, then yes. Are they worth the cost? The answer is you're not going to get recruited, but you could start the process. So that's, super helpful. Okay. What should be the best D3 college I can go from that? So sorry, going back to NorCal Soccer Girl. The answer is going as an experience. You're not going to get recruited, but if you're a high level girl, then they'll make a note of your name. They will. They definitely will. If you're like a mid-tier level girl, so if you're not playing ECNL or pre-ECNL, then, and that doesn't mean you might be the exception, right? You might be good enough for ECNL and just not on the team because of the location. So the short answer is I would go. If you're saying is it worth the cost, you're not going to get recruited. But if you're a high-level girl, they'll make a note of you. The other reason it can be great is for your daughter to get exposure and understand, hey, does she even want to play college soccer? Because if you go in middle school and she goes, I didn't really like the camp, it was so much soccer, I didn't like it, you will save yourself a ton of money in the future because she won't want to be pursuing that world, which would be excellent, to be honest, from a financial place. But also then she knows what she loves. And it's important to find out what you love as soon as you can. If I had a daughter, for example, I would have her go if it was in my budget. Zane Thompson, hello. What would be the best D3 college I can go from that? I'm sorry, what do you mean from that? If I missed your earlier question, I'm sorry. Jen Thorette, hello. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Bodie. What age do college coaches start looking at talent? 10 and 12 years old, too early. Good question. So we have a plan for 10 to 12 years old. Certainly college coaches don't look at you, but I want you to get exposure at 10, 12 years old, even if they're not going to, quote unquote, recruit you. I want you to start to get in their faces because it takes a long time. And remember, you're competing with internationals, transfers. It's very competitive. So I would have if you're an elite level player, I have them go to middle school camp. If you book a call, we have a program specifically for 10 to 12 year olds. Thank you. And it was daughter. Good job, NorCal Soccer. Thank you for letting me know. If you want, book a call with me, NorCal Soccer Girl. We can talk about plans for middle school age. Iniesta, what's up, Iniesta? Hey, Zev, what are your thoughts on high school soccer? Very good for video. No one's going to come to your game, so you got to go to camps. How do I get invited to camps? Send emails. But you can go to anyone's camp. Getting invited just makes it better, but you can go to any camp. If I join MLSX team next season, is it realistic? If I join MLSX team next season, junior currently, is there a realistic chance of D1? Only I would need to see your video. Playing MLS next does not mean you're going to play Division 1. Do you know if more NWSL teams will start academies like MLS? Good question. I hope so. My feeling is no. I don't think they have the budget for it. So my feeling is the GA will actually start kind of replacing what would have been by the NWSL, which is why GA and MLS Next are merging together. That's going to be my assumption for now. But the weird thing is the last message he sent me was that he wanted to talk to me after the MLS Showcase. So still .dk, that means he ghosted you, but he likes you. So what you should do is you should move away from that team, leave him alone because he's not responding, and then go get interest from somebody else, and then go back to them. Hey, Zev, what you heard about JUCO lawsuit? Right now, they're debating whether or not to create the new rule for junior college, which would be very interesting. If you see Bale, we can help you with transfers. Call the college transfer guy who works for me. Should I email college coaches as a freshman, even if I play RAL? Doc Shaw, sorry, I hope I didn't pronounce your name wrong. I would need to see a video. If you send me a video, then I can tell you if it's a good time to start or not. It's very good that JUCO is not counting towards eligibility. It will also mean that you guys will be way older. I actually think it will mean a lot of players will look to go to junior college first instead, because it will mean it won't go against your eligibility, and you'll be 20 and you'll technically be a freshman, which will be a game changer for college. Game changer. I emailed coaches from NEPSAC and they're not responding. What do? You have to go to you have to email lower level teams then, Mr. Popeyes, or you have to change your video, or you need to let me read your email. You might have been doing something wrong. What do you think about the MLS Super Draft? I'm paying attention right now. It's pretty cool, actually. How can we send you our video? Click the link in the bio and you can send it. Where do I send the video? Link in the bio. Can you tell me an advice to get to Division 2? Make sure you get their interest in sophomore, junior year because they can invite you on trial. You don't have to go to camp sometimes. Or you have to go to camp and then they'll invite you on trial, which is really cool for D2. Can you play college soccer with just high school? You can, but not Division 1 for the most part. You'll have to go to D3 or D2. I'm at a D3 and want to transfer to JUCO to find a new school. I want to transfer to JUCO. You want to go from D3 to a junior college. Okay, call the transfer guy. He can help you with that. Click on College Transfer Guy on my TikTok or Instagram, and we can schedule a call. Can you play high school soccer with just high school? Okay. Is a 3.6 a good enough GPA for a good academic D3? Depends what level academic D3. I would say that's a mid-tier academic D3. How long is considered a ghost by coach? 2 weeks. Should my son join a bad MLS team or stick with the top E64 team? He wants to play D1 or D2. He should probably switch because you'll get more exposure from the MLS Next team. But I would need to know your situation. So Jamie Gutierrez, if you want to book a call, we could talk about it. Which is more attractive for recruiting? A current age or B team older girls? Which is attractive? A team current age or B older girls? It depends what level, Jonesy. If you're playing, what level? Let me ask you that. What level are you talking about? Can you play college soccer with just playing club junior and senior year? D3, yes. D3, yes. How much do my services cost? Craig Daniel, UK. If you're from the UK, it is very different than somebody who's local. So if you book a call, you'll be sent a video about my cost. So, and it varies per person. You have to answer a couple questions. 3.6 won't get you into NESCAC. That is true. There's a couple schools, if they really like you for soccer, they can maybe help you get in, but it's tough. Are they switching club to grad year next year and not birth year? It's going to actually, every team is going to be able to pick on their own. So it won't be a whole thing. Every club will be different starting next year. 2026 next year. Is EC4 good? Good place to start, Charlie. Aim for Division 3 first. That would be the place to aim first. Do you still rate or look at 2025 happiness? Would love some feedback. Seba Dally, you'd have to book a call. Hello, Mare. Do top academic D3 teams make exceptions on GPA if they're very good? Very limited. Very limited. You pretty much have to have a 3.8 for them to make an exception. Do top academic D3 teams make exceptions on GPA if you're very good? Not very much. All NEPSAC classes good or just class A and B? All NEPSAC are very good. It's too late if you just turned 13, 17, if you want to be a football player. I only help with college soccer, J Madsen 28. So it's not too late as a 17-year-old, but you have to aim for certain levels. Pre-GA U9, a team versus she should play older. Play older for sure. If you're pre-GA, but it would also depend on the coach, your relationship with the coach, because at the end of the day, the goal is to play for the GA team of her age by 12, 13. So it's a little bit more political than that. But the short answer would be if she can play for older girls, that's usually better. Do D1 colleges look at it won't matter for recruiting. At your age, recruiting is not. The coaches don't care if you play for an older team when you were 8, 9 years old. They care that you're good when you're 12, 13 years old. Do D1 colleges look at lower MLS Next teams? Yes, if you go to the showcases and you email them and they like your video. If coach does not respond to initial email, should I include my offers from other schools and follow up? Yes. Would you recommend IMG Soccer? If you have the budget, IMG is very good if it's the MLS Next team. If it's not the MLS Next team, it's not very helpful. Is Dayton a good soccer program? Yes, Dayton is very good. Charlie Adams, you said you're playing E64. Dayton, I would say, would be unrealistic for you, but I would need to see video. You guys might be the exception to the rule. Is U-India a good soccer program? Yes. Yes, it's very good. Great D2 program. It's very good. Are D1, D2 coaches going to E64 showcase actually recruiting at these events? No, pretty much not. Not D1 schools. Maybe a local D2 or maybe a local D1, but pretty limited. Very limited. As an ECNL player who started the recruitment process very late, what level should I focus on? Always focus on D3 first, because then you get interest and then you can move on, and also you can make sure you have a team as a backup. Is Long Beach State a good soccer program? They only have a girls team. So I'm not sure if you have a daughter, Joe, or if you're a girl, but they only have a girls team, and they're very good. I can't find the link to email to send a video. The link in the bio, if you go to the link in the bio, it should be there. If you don't see it, it means your TikTok is not updated, and you can go on my Instagram. My Instagram has the link. Okay, let's see here. Sherry Wallets, what's up? Okay, good questions. Good questions, everybody. GW coach let me know that they send out their offers in groups. Do other programs do that too? Yes, some do, but George Washington's a little different because they're very academic and they don't give any scholarship money academically. You have to pay for the school on your own, so that's kind of why they do it in groups. What else should I include in the email besides the highlight video? 2 to 3 sentences about yourself as well and something genuine about the school. Good question. Got mom to approve YouTube for our son, but still against Instagram. How can I fight for Instagram? I mean, got mom. I'm assuming you're the son. You can tell her that 15% of the recruiting process is Instagram, but she's just protecting you for your health, so it's okay. You definitely need YouTube, but you don't need Instagram. So what you should tell her is you should say, hey mom, if I can't have Instagram, I need to go to more ID camps. Are you willing to pay for more ID camps? Because if you don't go to the ID camps, they can't see you. So if you say to your mom, it actually could be cheaper if I have Instagram because they would watch me, so the camps would be worth it, then that would be the argument you could make. She's welcome to call me too. Instagram is not do or die, but it can be helpful. I got a personal invite from an ID clinic from I2I Soccer Academy on January 10th. That could help me get college exposure. No, it won't get you college exposure, Jaden, because college coaches don't watch it. But if you put in your emails, then yes, they could be more likely to respond. What should I do as a freshman if I didn't play at all before MLS, before next season? You need to work on kicking the ball against the wall, get really good at the technique. If I have 2 OK D3 offers and 2 JUCO offers, what should I choose? I played ECNL a whole life, and many of my teammates are going to win. Well, with the new JUCO rule, Landon, it makes this actually a very different discussion. I would have normally said D3, but with the new JUCO rule, there's a very good argument you should go to JUCO. So, Landon, you'll have to book a call with me because that is complicated. You have a question. I'm ready, James. Do you recommend ID camps? If you get a genuine invite or if it's a dream school, yes. What happens when I turn 18, 19, and you still in U17? You unless the club has made an exception, you cannot keep playing. What's up, Eva? Is it a good time to email coaches during winter break? Yes. College coaches never take a break. Coach said they can't communicate until sophomore year. Do I still send emails? Yes, you still send emails, but you send it very politely. You say, Coach, I know you can't respond right now. I just wanted to update you with a video. I know you can't respond right now, but happy Christmas. I know you can't respond right now, and you keep doing that, so then they know who you are come June 15th. Do I put my highlight video on YouTube unlisted or send the file? Always do it public on YouTube. Do not have it unlisted, and do not send the file. Always on YouTube. Are coaches looking at their emails now? Yes, they never stop. How much money is an average Division I scholarship, and how many players are on full rides? An average D1 scholarship is $2,000 a year, so very minimal. And only one player is on a full ride. Coach, and they said they cannot communicate with me. Do I still send emails? Yes. Do you recommend ID camps? Yes, I do. What else should I include in my highlight video besides? Oh, okay, good. You're welcome. Will I go pro if I have no academy at 14? I only help with college. So I'm sorry, I don't know. The pro stuff is not my forte. Is a good time. Okay. What if I don't have monies for an ID camp? Then you need to make video and save up enough money to go to one ID camp that's worth it, because you will have to go to an ID camp. I'm from Scotland and looking to come over for college. What's your thoughts? Book a call, Scott. Link in the bio. Will I go pro if I have no academy? 38 days. I'm sorry. We don't help with pro. I only help with college. I'm going to play the rest of my season at NAL, join the MLS team in September. Any tips? Highlight video. Make a video. For sure, make a video. I have to get ID camps invited from college coaches, but there are put of states. What are good ID camps in Pennsylvania? If you go to collegesoccercamps.net, you'll see every single camp in Pennsylvania. And Jaden, there's Future 500 is a good camp where you are, but it really depends on, I don't know about you. I don't know your GPA. I don't know what's realistic for you. So we'd have to book a call so I can tell you what camps to go to. Is ID camp still good for an 18-year-old? It's the only option you have. If you don't go to the camps as 18, then you're not going to get recruited. Most Division I players pay out of pocket, even some star. Everybody does. There's no money in soccer, green jumper. How do I get my name out there for colleges? Send emails. Any tips for trying to get scouting in Canada if you know how the system works here? Book a call. We have a model for Canadians. How much is ID camps, and would they let some people join for free? It's illegal to let you join for free. And ID camps are anywhere from $50 to $600. It just depends which camp you pick. Would you recommend playing for a really good JUCO that plays other D1s on the offseason? Cave.l. I would need to know your video and decide, but the answer is JUCO is an option now. Can you speak on the JUCO rule and how players and team will leverage it? I believe it would help players more in a world where schools held all cards for most. The JUCO rule will be a really big deal. Basically, if you're a senior without an offer, before I would have not recommended junior college, and I would have recommended a D3 or D2 offer that you got. But now, since it doesn't go against your eligibility, if you don't have an offer, the best thing you can do actually is go to JUCO. and you get to play high-level soccer, and it doesn't go against eligibility. I would even say if you're trying to transfer from a D1, if you're trying to transfer it ever, you should always just go to JUCO. It will change everything pretty big time. What do you think about Ironbound MLS Next? That's who I'm joining. That's good. Ironbound is a good club. I'm in 8th grade, play MLS Next. What should I do? Book a call, Leo Butcher. That means you have a lot of potential. We should send you to ID camps now. What's the difference between MLS Next and college soccer? MLS Next is youth level. College soccer is for 18 and above. Why wouldn't you have recommended JUCO before? JUCO before because it's really hard to transfer from a JUCO to an NCAA. There's no guarantee that it will happen, and you lose eligibility. So you would have been better off going to a D3 and transferring from D3 to another school because that's more likely than from JUCO. But now, since doesn't go against your eligibility, there's a very good argument that you would be better off actually going to JUCO because it's almost like freezing time. Like it's like a time capsule. You go to JUCO, nothing against you. Go play soccer there for 2 years, get older, get better, and it doesn't go against your eligibility. It's a really big deal. I play at D3 right now. What is your best advice to go above that? I play at D3 right now. What is your best advice to go above that? I play at D3 right now. What is your best advice to go above that? You would have to make video, and you'd have to get permission from your coach, and you have to be willing to lose your offer at your current school to leave. Xavier, you should book a call. Click the link in the bio and click transfers. What do you think about formations with wingers and wingbacks instead of wingers? I personally don't have an opinion. It just matters about the coach and what they want. What about from NAI to NCA? Also very difficult and expensive because classes don't carry over, but it is technically possible. Are some EC14 better than EC now? Absolutely, Charlie, definitely. I DM'd you on Instagram with a link to my video. Can you please watch it? I probably won't be able to watch it because I get a million messages. So you have to click the link in the bio and book a call. If my wife and I make a call, is there a charge for the first call? There's no charge for the first call, but the first call, I can't really answer like all your questions because it's short. So the call is to see if we're the right fit to work together, in which case I do charge a fee for my services. In fact, in 10 minutes, if you stick around, I'm going to get on a call and you can watch me do the call so you can see what it's like. It is difficult to play D1 soccer as a goalkeeper. I'm 14 and play EC4 and USU soccer, Division 2. Are these teams good enough? And if not, what do you recommend? To play Division 2, those teams could be good enough. I would need to see video. The fact that you're talking about this as 14 gives you a better chance. And I would need to see video and get on a call with you to get to know a little bit more about you. How late into senior year do schools generally recruit till? March. But that's like depending on the school. Some schools are definitely done, but some schools will go till March. Are there going to be scouts for some E64 showcases? Very limited. Very limited. D3 for sure D3, and D2 maybe, but not above that. But that's still good. I play on a JUCO with connections or D1 development team. Play on JUCO, connections, or D1 development team. Ooh. Nowadays, I would probably say JUCO because of the new rule. But I would need to book a call, cb.al. How do I know for my email for you to review? How do I show my email? Book a call, Poppies. Is there interest from UC Santa Barbara? Is there a way to leverage that? Oh yeah, hell yeah. Are you kidding? Why would you? But if you leverage it, you might lose the school you might lose interest from Santa Barbara. So you have to be very careful. I'm in 8th grade. Should I reach out to college's first season, NAL, or MLS next season, MLS next freshman? It depends, Ryan. I would need to see a video. I play Eastern RL. I'm 14 and want to play college, and I'm a JV starter for my high school. I'm a center mid. That's awesome. Good job. When will roster cap take effect? They're going to vote on it in April, so we don't know yet. But everybody's acting as if it's going to happen. Can you play college soccer with just high school soccer with lots of ID camps? Yes, for sure. If you go to lots of ID camps, for sure. I play Nashville SC Academy, and I'm a sophomore. When do you think we'll start getting offers? After June 15th. When do JUCO schools finish recruitment? Very late, like May. I'm currently playing 4 years up in a men's or rep league that doesn't record gameplay. What should I do? I currently play 4 years up in a men's rep league. You need to get somebody to record you. Fine, mom and dad have to record you. Does the size of your high school matter a lot? No, irrelevant. Can you play high school soccer with just high school soccer with lots of ID camps? Yes. When does NAI finish recruitment? April, May. Depends on the NAI school, of course, but overall, a little bit later. Do you know the Washington College D3 coach? Yes. Does the size of it matter? Okay, good question. Okay, 8 minutes. Can you play high school soccer? These are good questions, guys. Thank you for asking. We have one from YouTube. That's a new one. What would you say is the difference in each and MLS skill-wise? Nothing, almost nothing, very little. The biggest thing is technically and soccer IQ and even athletically, MLS is probably a little higher, but It's very minimal difference, like 10, 15%. Now, the best MLS Next teams and the worst ECNL teams, there's a really big gap there, which is partially why coaches would rather go to an MLS Next event than an ECNL event, for now anyways. Why NCAA D2 schools, their graduation rate is low? Does that mean that schools academic event? No. That means that many people that go to the Division II schools quit school, but it does not mean that the school is bad. Do you think posting clips on YouTube or Instagram helps to get more college attention? Only if you're also emailing them and you're tagging them and messaging them. Otherwise, not so much. Spot DW. So it's mostly branding. It is branding, but the MLS Next is a higher level. So it is branding, and it's important branding because college coaches are more likely to respond to you if you're playing MLS Next. How many ID camps should I go to in a year? It depends your age, and what's your goal. We have some people that go to 15 ID camps, and they're more likely to play college soccer. So it just depends on your goals. My coach wants a roster of 18 next season, and I'll be one of them. Do you think that's beneficial? I don't know if you're talking about your club team. It's good to be part of a roster, I would say. What do D1 schools look for in your technical ability? Abilities to play passes forward very quickly. If you played JUCO this year, that new rule, that is a good question, Diaz. I don't know the answer to that yet. I have to figure that out. And it's a very important question. So I will learn, and I will let you guys know when I know. Playing the best of East Cup at Delaware, good. And are there a lot of scouts? There will not be that many scouts, but email everybody you want to come. What are the ways I can stand out at ID camp besides my skills playability? Talk, and make sure you email them before. What age do ID camps start? Middle school is when they start, technically. Is it good to play varsity as a freshman for high school? Yes. Get video of that. That's great. I have an offer from an NI school from Upper Iowa, D2. Which one is better? Pick based off the coach. Whichever coach you like the most, pick that one. Thoughts on Babson? Babson's amazing. Spot DW. Very good. Babson's a very good school. Very good school. It's good to play as a freshman. Okay, I have an offer. Awesome. Okay, guys, 5 minutes, and I'm going to get on a call with a potential student, and you guys can listen in if you want to. And I won't be able to answer your questions while I'm on the call. But then after the call, let's see if I have time after the call. Let me check my schedule. I have a call right after that, actually. So you'll get to see 2 calls, assuming they show up. And if they don't show up, I ban them from my social media. So if you ever book a call and you have to reschedule, that's fine. But if you don't show up, you're donezo. And so then another call from 12:45 to 1 after that. So you should be able to see 2 calls that I'm about to get on, and that will give you an idea. Before the JUCO lawsuit, would you have recommended a JUCO with connections or D1 developmental team? Then I would have said D1 developmental before the rule. Thoughts on NJAC conference for D3? Good. Very good conference. If I play for an MLS Academy, don't worry so much about the conference. Think about the coach. Do you like the coach? That is the better question to ask. Because if you don't like the coach and the conference is good, every year the conferences are different. Sometimes they're even better. Sometimes they're worse. That's irrelevant. It's all about the coach. Do you like the coach? Do you like Blue Lock? I got to tell you, I got to take a photo of that. Yes, I love Blue Lock. I think Blue Lock is great. If you guys want a TV show for soccer, Blue Lock is really good. If I play for an MLS Academy and have attention from D1 schools and switch to an ECNL, does it go away? If I play for an MLS Academy and have attention from D1 schools and switch to ECNL, does it go away? It doesn't go away, but it may be difficult to keep them for some cases. After 2 calls, will you still answer questions? After the 2 calls, 2 calls with me, I only do 1 call. After the 2 calls that I'm having in meetings today. I don't know if I'll be around. I'll probably get lunch. So I'll probably take a break. Hey, man, thanks for all the tips and tricks on college recruiting. Just signed to a school. Clay, what school did you go to? That's humongous. I just took a screenshot. What school are you going to? I'm so proud of you. That's amazing. Can you tell us what school you're going to, Clay? Congratulations, guys. We have a commitment. You can definitely play for a high school MLS team, still not MLS Academy. Where would you rank USL Academy? USL Academy is really good. I actually put it right at the same level or 1 step below MLS, but they just don't have showcases. And because of that, college coaches don't see them as often, which is really frustrating. So because they don't see them as often, which is really frustrating, you have to kind of put it below ECNL. But the level itself is higher than ECNL. A-Pies. Hello, A-Pies. Who's your favorite Blue Lock player? That's funny. The main character is probably my favorite, but also, I'm sorry, I forget their names. There's another one, the one they did a movie on, the blonde one. They did a movie on him. Is Classic League North Carolina good enough for D1? No. Thoughts on Classic League is not good enough for Division 1. You have to play Eastern or MLS Next for Division 1 almost every time. There are exceptions, like we had a player from Eastern RL who we signed, but he was using our, he worked with me, so we did extra things. But if you unless you have an expert with you, it's very difficult otherwise. Do you recommend playing in UPSL or Elite Academy? Elite Academy is much better for college. UPSL is good too for the level. UPSL might even be better, but for college, Elite Academy is better. Thoughts on Ivy League, D1 soccer, and everything in that range? It's very high level and very competitive and very difficult to get into. Hey, college soccer coach, does not playing club soccer impact college soccer? Because right now I'm only training with the club. Yes, it does impact it. You will not probably be able to play college without club. You have to play for the team for sure. Hey, man, thanks for all the tips. You're welcome. Yo, the passing of the JUCOs keeping their years of eligibility is mad. Yo, this passing of the JUCOs keeping their years of eligibility is mad. It is mad. It's going to change everything, actually. Change everything. It is mad. It is bonkers. Okay, guys, I'm going to get ready for this call, so I won't be able to answer your questions for a little bit, but you guys can listen in to what I'm talking about, and you guys can just to listen if you want to listen. If you don't want to listen, I can talk to you guys another day. If you want help, you can book a call with me, and we can go from there.
Recording in progress.
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay?
Hi. Yeah.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for your time. I'm excited to talk to you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time. Just before we begin, could I ask who found me first?
I did.
Yeah.
Dad found me
I
first.
see you on Instagram all the time. I watch your videos.
Amazing. That's very exciting. Thank you for doing that. Let me ask your daughter, what did your father tell you about me?
Well, he was just saying you post these videos about helping people get recruited for college, and you seem very organized, know what you're doing.
It's all a fake. I just am an actor. I wish I could say that, but I did go through the process myself in a torturous way, and then other students I've helped them too, and sometimes it's difficult, but very fun. So having said that, I kind of want to explain the agenda for today. Is that okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the goal today is for us to see if I can truly help you play college soccer. I watched your video. I saw all your information about your national team and everything else, so we'll talk about that. And then also I want to answer your questions. And then finally, I want to see if I can scare you away and make you quit. Because then Dad, we don't have to worry about any of this stuff, and we can just chill and relax, and she doesn't have to drive and everything else. And then the final
piece.
piece.
I tried to get her to quit many times.
Many times. Okay. Well, I'll try one more time. But that's also to say, we'll try one more time. And then it's also to say, by the end of today's call, we have to decide if we're going to work together. And the reason I say that is I don't work with that many students. And given your grad year, and the goals you have, every day we're losing an opportunity, technically speaking, because it's very competitive. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have a couple questions for your daughter first. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So I got to watch your video, which we'll talk about in a minute, and I want to answer your questions. But my first question to you right now is, how many calls have you had with Division III school? Or let's just say, how many phone calls have you had in general?
None.
Okay, so no phone calls yet. Now, if I said to you, have any schools or did any schools talk about coming visiting you this past fall? Did any say, hey, we'd like to have you on campus and have you sleep over, or any official visits yet?
No.
Okay. And right now, what do you think you need the most help with?
Just reaching out to schools, emailing videos and stuff.
Okay, so figuring out what to say, what your video should be like, and maybe what we should write in those emails. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And from your father's perspective, what do you think your daughter needs the most help with?
Well, I'm somewhat biased, but I mean, she's a very bright girl, and she writes very well. So I think she just needs a guidance on. She's very motivated. She has a passion for soccer, so I don't have to be on top of her for her to write emails or any of that stuff. She does that well. She's so if you give her an assignment, it will get done.
Amazing.
She's motivated, so I think the process for her comes easy because it's something that she wants to do.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. So you're saying she's willing to do the work, but maybe she could use some guidance on what to write in the emails, even though she's a great writer, because we haven't had any phone calls yet. You're 2026. Is that right?
No, 2028.
Brilliant. Okay. This is good. So what I do, because I saw in your email or in your submission that you're 2028, but your email says 2029. So I mixed those up. Thank you. Okay, perfect. 2009. Okay, that's why I was confused. Excellent. That's fantastic. So I would have rephrased the question to say how many D3 schools we've spoken to. The other good news about that is when I watch video, I tend to watch the video before I know your grad year. So that way I can assume. And the good news is I thought you were a lot older, which is excellent. That's very good. Now, having said that, to your father's point, knowing how to write emails, do you think she could benefit from understanding how to format the emails?
Well, I mean, I'm a college grad and she writes better than I do. I don't think she has a problem with writing emails at all.
Okay.
I think she needs help in just picking target schools and trying to figure out where she fits in the process. Abilities, whether is she a D1, D2, D3, and I think she needs help with that.
Okay.
Which will help her narrow down her target schools.
So picking our target schools, I think, is what maybe we need to have her help with. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, super helpful. Now, if I said to your daughter, why do you want to play college soccer? There's a lot of work for dad. It's a lot of work for me. Why do you want to put us through all this?
Oh, because it's just been a dream of mine ever since, and I really want to play at the collegiate level because I've been working so hard with club all these years and stuff, and I just want to continue it through my college years.
Okay, that's very exciting. Now, are you sending this current video out to schools when you do write the emails?
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, one of the things that's important to me, and I think it's important to all of you, would you guys agree with me that academics always come first?
Of course.
Excellent. Okay, because one of the things, I played college and then I played pro, and even if we have aspirations for the next level, I'm really grateful I got my degree and then got my master's degree after that. So which is then to say, I understand why your daughter wants to play college soccer, and we all agree academics come first. From your father's perspective, why do you want to help her play college soccer? We could lock her in a closet and not let her do anything but school. Why do you want to help her play college soccer?
I want to, because that's what a dad does. I support her in everything she does. If you leave it up to her mom doesn't even want her to play soccer. Me, it's not a big deal for me if she plays college soccer or not, because academically she's a brilliant student. She's a freshman class president. She's a straight A student. So academically, I think she will have no problem getting into the school, high academic school that she wants to. So she doesn't have to depend on the soccer.
Yeah.
I said to her many times, it's a lot of hard work, because she does put in the hard work. But I mean, it's something she wants to do. And if she wants to play at the collegiate level, then I support her. But it's not my dreams. I'm not living, it's her dreams. This is her journey. This has nothing to do with me.
Amazing. Very exciting. Okay, cool. Now, What I want to do is give you guys like a what I would call my diagnosis on your situation. Is that okay?
Mhm.
So one of the things you asked me is like, what level could your daughter potentially play? When I look at your daughter's video, I'm going to pull this up on my screen. When I look at your daughter's video and her current situation, there's a couple red flags for me. One, you cannot send the video out as you are now. I obviously thought you were older initially, which is a good sign. The concern slightly for me is because you're a girls soccer player, you're not technically at 2028. In the girls soccer world, if you want to play Division 1, you must be committed by junior year or in your junior year. So this is to say, as much as you feel like a freshman, you're really a sophomore. And when you're a sophomore, you're really a junior. When you're a junior, you're really a senior. So for me, the fact that you maybe haven't had any phone calls with Division 3 schools is a red flag for me, given how good you are. So this is a good thing. I think you can play Division 1. So because of that, for the girls who work with us who are quote unquote Division 1 level, I expect them on phone calls with Division 3 schools, especially if you want to go to the top academic, because the top academic schools are done recruiting earlier. Now I know your father, and obviously, because of your father's profession, you mentioned like, hey, getting into a top school is not of concern. Now I would argue getting into the Ivy League level schools or any top University of Chicago, no matter how good your grades are, though every single person that applies to those schools has your daughter's grades. And so the difference can often be soccer or, some other extracurricular activity. But those schools are very competitive no matter how smart you are. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I'm part of the process, and you can have a perfect SAT score and perfect grades, and you have the schools
Exactly.
you don't get into.
Exactly.
That's the reality.
Yes.
It's based on what these schools are looking for.
Exactly. And this is the beauty. You and you have the grades, you're basically guaranteed to get in, which is amazing. That they wouldn't do that for anybody else. So when I go to my diagnosis, I am very excited to see your video, and I'm going to go over your video here in a minute. But your video has to be changed. We have to fix quite a few things. The order has to be changed. You can't have it on an iCloud thing. All of that has to be fixed. So that's number one. Number two, did you guys see the video I tried to send you guys before this already?
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So you guys saw the email system. One of the things I want us to do is, your father mentioned picking a list of schools. So this is not your list, but this is a list of another girl who we're going to create a list for you. You mentioned biology. So we'll create a list specifically for biology based off the top academic. We also have a list of the top academic schools, which are like top academic no matter what. Some of these schools, all these schools do have biology, so it works out for you. But these are the top D3s who you should be talking to, and they should be talking to you in a pretty aggressive way, given your level and because of the fact that you're a girls soccer player and they start earlier for you guys. Does that make sense? Okay. So having said that, one of the things obviously you saw in the email system that's exciting is in the email system, we can keep track of everything. So like with me, I know your father said a great compliment to you, which is if somebody guides you, you'll do the work, which is, when I look for students, and we talked about at the beginning of the call, I'm trying to find if we're the right fit. That's the answer I'm looking for, that you're going to put in the work, because it is a lot of work. So with this email system, we can stay really organized, because we're going to email the top academic D3s, and I expect them to respond to you in a genuine way in the next 3 months. I expect you on phone calls and text messages. That's frankly what your video says to me, and also where you are in the process, in my opinion. Now, if you were, say, a lower level girl with worse grades, I would probably say, look, it might take a little longer. But I've watched your video. You're playing for your national team. The top academic D3 should know who you are. Does that make sense? Now, when it comes to the D1s, which you have the right to aspire to, it is really important they know who you are before June 15th in a real way, meaning they need to get an email from you once a month or so as we go through this process, so they know, oh, this is who she is. She's coming to camp. She's already being recruited by D3 schools. University of Chicago like her. Tufts like her. NYU like her. I can't wait to meet her when she comes to camp. Oh, I'm going to make a note on my paper to call her on June 15th. And that takes a while to develop that relationship. Does that make sense? For your father too, does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. So then we have to pick those camps. I know you've already sent some emails. Is that right?
Well, she sent 2 emails.
Okay, not that many. That's good. That's a good thing, because if you do any more, it's going to affect you negatively, in my opinion. Even if you don't work with me, You can't send what you're currently sending, which is then to say, you're playing at a good club, which I love. The international the international aspect for you is very different. We have to change every email we write. And I understand you're good at writing, but being good at writing and writing to college coaches are two different things. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's great you're good at writing because the coaches will love that. But you have to phrase things a certain way so that it gains their attention. Then your father, this is the big one, given what your father mentioned. We have to pick your list of schools. So I'm going to give you the list. I'm going to give you a D1 list. I'm going to give you a D3 list. We're going to pretty much skip D2s because your grades are too good and you're too good of a player. So we're really focusing on D1 and D3. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, once we've created this list, we have to figure out at the end of the day, who do you like? One of the things that I want to ask you guys is let's role play for a minute. I'm going to role play with your daughter. Let's say, Mia, I said to you, look, I think it's too early. You don't need to start. You're only a freshman. It's too early. What would you say?
It's not too early.
Why not?
Because if you want to go to like the top schools, it's like very competitive and you need like every single day you can get to get in contact with them.
Excellent. Dad, you've done a wonderful job raising her. In addition, I want to add, would you like to find a coach you love, or would you be okay if your coach wasn't a nice person?
I want to find a coach that I love.
Exactly. So to find a coach you love, that takes time. One day your daughter's going to get an offer because she's a good soccer player. But if she feels rushed to say yes, then she might end up with a coach she doesn't like. And that part is very sad. My brother had a miserable college experience because his coach was a terrible human. My coach was an amazing human, and I had a great college experience. So the coaches too, remember, they pick which girls come to the school. So you want a coach that has morals that you agree with, because then he'll bring new girls onto the team that you hopefully also like. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want your daughter, Mia, will you ask me why I think it's important for you to start the process now?
Why do you think it's important for me to start the process now?
The reason I think it's important is, yes, everything you said is right. You want to get their attention, and it's very competitive. So when you're good, like you are a good soccer player, I'm going to show you your video. There's a value to it. But the main reason I like starting is because I want you to be able to find the coach you love. And one of the things I loved in your video, first of all, we got to change the order because this is not like you have good clips in here. This is a average. It's good, but it's not your best clip. That's just a normal pass. That cannot be your first clip. So we have to change the order of the video. The other stuff is, this stuff is really important, and so important that I will eventually request, if there's more video in the future of the international stuff, that's a big deal. We also are going to need you to have a YouTube page and a Twitter page and an Instagram page. You don't have to do social media if you don't want to, but you have to have a YouTube. Are you guys okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we will get more videos because she's playing in the World Cup qualification.
Okay. That's huge.
Honduras, Belize, and U.S. Virgin Islands.
Okay, this is super big. Okay, that's a big deal. Such a big deal. We need every D1 coach to know that before you go, and then we have to follow up with them afterwards. It's very amazing, Mia, that you're playing for your national team. That's a big deal. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which is then to say, I want to pause there, Miss Mia, and ask you, have I managed to scare you away and make you want to quit?
No.
Darn. Sorry, Dad. That would have made things a little bit easier. So now what I want to do, have you guys heard of like NCSA and those other companies before?
Yeah, they call us all the time.
They call you all the time. They still call me, and I told them I graduated at this point. And they are very aggressive. So when we work with when we work with students, the biggest difference between me and say an NCSA or anyone else is I want to edit all your videos. So we do unlimited editing. If you work with them, they'll edit like 2 videos. It's not really enough. And the whole national team thing with you is a really big deal. So we want to leverage that. So I want to be able to do that through video. The other thing is the email system that you guys saw. It's a big deal because it enables us to email every school individually from our own Gmail. And that's the secret, own Gmail. Because with NCSA, you just will never know if you had sent it from your own Gmail, if it would have been better. Then with me, you must meet with me every single week the first month. That is mandatory. Now, if you are going on the World Cup or you're have finals. I'm, of course, a reasonable person, but then you still have to talk to us every week. Otherwise, we'll fire you and you won't get to work with us. Does that make sense, Mia?
Mhm.
And then if in 3 months from now, you're not being genuinely recruited by a school, I refund you. And the goal is that within the next 3 months, your daughter experiences most of the recruiting process. Maybe not an offer, although you are good, Mia. It is possible that some D3 schools will be aggressive with you, but you shouldn't make any decisions yet. You should wait. But the point is to say, I expect that to happen within the next year for sure. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. So I want to show you on what it looks like to work with me real quick on a day-to-day. Can I show you that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I'm working with students, and you guys, I think, saw this already in the video. Let me pause actually one real quick. When I show you this, particularly for your father, is this the type of help you're looking for Mia?
Oh yeah, I think it's like a review course, you know, like when I was studying for my certified public accounting exam, you know, it's like you go to a review course, they guide you on what you should study, and because based on the experience, this is the items that usually come up on a test.
Yes.
So it sort of like focus you in what you need to do. So I think
Perfect.
based on your experience, you're pointing in the right direction, focusing on not wasting time on as you said, time is money, right?
Time is money. Very well said. Okay.
So not wasting, you know, so doing it properly, you know?
Yes. And the goal here is, of course, with your daughter's grades, I'm going to show you this for fun because I'm very proud of this. I got this text yesterday from a family. Your daughter is better than this girl, in my own opinion, but soccer is subjective. This is from the parents, and they just got $100,000 to go to their school of their choice, which is a big deal, of course. And that is the goal. You know, your daughter has really good grades. And so that is realistic. There are certain schools like MIT and Hamilton, they don't provide academic scholarship. So there's limitations. But for other schools, there is a lot of money on the table. So the first thing is when you work with me, your daughter's going to get a coach plus me. The reason we do that is I want her to have a female role model. That's for one. And two is I'm working for you. I got to go look up your camps. I got to edit all your videos. I have to look up, now that you're going to be with your national team, there's a really big leverage point that I need to do some research on for the schools, because some of the schools you're going to want to go to specifically are requesting girls that play for the national team. Not every girl plays for the U.S. national team, but the fact that you're going to a World Cup pre-qualifying is a big deal. So I'm going to be working for you over here. Now, I can never directly connect you to a school, even if I think you are very good, because of the NCAA rules. So my workaround is I'm going to tell you who to email based off of who I think needs your position. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. Then we're going to talk through an app. We're going to need to get Dad and you on the app. This is where we're going to have a channel, Dad, with just you and I without your daughter, and then another channel with all of us so we can all communicate. I will edit all your videos. So right now I saw you use Trace. Is that right? Trace or
Yeah,
Vio?
we have Trace with Orlando City.
Okay.
They use Trace.
Trace is great. I'm sponsored by Trace. I love Trace. You're going to add me as a family member. I'll show you how to do it. Then every time you get a video, I will be notified about it. And then your best games, I don't want every game you play, because if you didn't play well, I don't want to use it. But any game you're like, I played really well this game, Zev, I want to edit it. Trace edits a lot of it, which is helpful for me. But even still, like, it doesn't zoom in. Sometimes it misses you. You know, I want to make sure it's perfect. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we want to go through game video. So one of the things is when I was looking at your video, where am I? Your video here is there's a couple moments here that I want you to improve upon as a player. Meaning, like in this particular instance, in this first clip, this is great. You keep the ball really well and you play, you know, a great pass down the line. This is fine. In the future, since I already have this clip, I would have you cut inside and hit a ping into this space. And because, one, it will help you become a better player. I'm a center mid. But also, college coaches already know you can do this. They need to know if you can do that. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So I want to coach you and go, hey, let's go through your game video and help you improve as a player. You guys saw the Google Drive where we keep track of everything, and you saw the email system. And then we're an annual service. So we are with you for the entire year. If in the first 3 months it's not working, then I refund you. If after the year you guys say, hey, Zev, we still want your help, we create a custom plan based on where we're at in the situation. It just depends for every person. And then the final piece is when we're working together, in your case, if you keep your grades as excellent as they are, the goal is that we're receiving a minimum of 60 upwards to 250, like the girl I showed you. That is the goal and realistic. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to pause here for a second. I want to ask you, Mia, I don't work with that many students. Why do you think you're a good fit to work with me? And you already wrote this answer beautifully on your form, but now that I get to see you in person, I'd like to ask you again.
Because I'm willing to do whatever it takes to write the emails, to phone calls and everything, to communicating with you, to get to a school that I want to go to. And you're a great person to organize with and help me with. And I think with my soccer, science, and academics, I can do it.
That's a really good answer, Mia. And I asked the question because I'm curious, but also a college coach is going to ask you that same question. And they're going to say, why do you want to play for me? And you did a really good job. You complimented me, which is lovely. And you talked about yourself. That's a perfect, very good combo. For your father's perspective, why do you think your daughter's a good fit to work with us?
Because as I said, she's a hard worker. She will get the job done. And she's serious. She's passionate about what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
As I mentioned before, I tried to get her to quit many times, and to test her, and this is what she really wants to do.
Yeah.
So if a person has a determination and a passion for something, I think they can go very far. So I think, but also not by themselves. I think they need a good, as I said, a good coaches are hard to find. I think with all the years she's been playing, I think we had one good coach, I would say, out of the whole bunch. So the recruiting is a big field, and there's a lot of, you say NCSA, and you got all these other recruiting companies out there. But I think, she needs to find someone that is good, that knows what they are doing, who can guide her to accomplish her goals. I think you can do that by me watching your videos. You are very passionate of what you do.
Thank you.
I think the acting. Sometimes you put on these acting. Different hats. You become an actor.
It's true.
Trying to make the video entertaining, to capture people's attention. So I think you have what it takes to help your student, and Mia has what it takes to be a good student.
Very excellent. That was beautiful. Really well said. So here's the last piece. I know this is a family effort. You have your wife and you have your mom to talk to, and I want everybody to be excited to work with me. So I want to ask your father, is this something that you'd like to move forward with?
Oh, yeah. I'm not hiring you to just write an email. Teach me how to write an email. She can do that. She's fine.
Yes.
What I'm hiring you is to guide her and help her reach her goal, her full potential.
Amazing.
So based on her abilities, based on her academics, let's get her, make a good fit. There's a fit for everyone.
Yes.
She needs to be placed. And as you said, coaches are very important, so I think working with someone that has the passion and the know-how is very important also.
Yes, thank you. So here's the next step. I'm going to send over a contract. The contract says the following. Ms. Mia, if you don't show up to the meetings that you book, you'll be able to book us when you want. You'll be fired, unfortunately, which I know you'll show up. Number 2 is if you don't get me more video within the next 3 months, which I know you will because I'll have your trace, then we can't work with you. And number 3 is if your grades drop to any grades that your parents determine, then we can't work with you. And number 4 is if in 3 months from now you're not being genuinely recruited, then I refund you. What I'd like to do with you guys, if it's okay, normally I do this after we hang up, but what I do is I make notes as we're talking to prepare I got to create your list of schools and everything else. And I want to prepare your coach because your coach and I are going to start meeting about you every week. So I want to make a little video showing you what it's going to look like in your first meeting. Is that okay? Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen here for a second. And it's going to, well, I don't think it will scare you away. Not yet, but I'll show you what this will look like. Okay. Hi, Cindy. So I'm really excited to introduce you to a new student. She reminds me a lot of you when I was working with you. Great grades, great player, plays for the national team like we did. And her family's lovely. I actually have them right here on the call, so they're listening in on this. And there's a couple things we need to do with her that's a little bit different than other students. First of all, she is going to the World Cup qualifiers with her country. I'll fix my spelling later. World Cup qualifiers. She's a better writer than me. She's going to the World Cup qualifiers, and we need to send this email. Send this in the mass email that we're going to write. I'll write it for you before I'm done with this. And we need this to go to D3s and D1s. Don't worry about D2s. We're not going to bother. When it goes to D3s, it's just going to go to the top academic one. She's got a great GPA like you, 4.4. She's really eloquent, very mature. In fact, when I saw her video, I thought she was a junior, and she's a 2028 freshman, which is excellent. Good sign. So that's that. The next thing is every email we write, every email and subject line is going to include a piece of the World Cup. I'll write it for you. And then camps. I'm going to give you a list of camps I want her to go to. She's good enough and she will get interest. So I will give you that list once I put it together. And then the other piece that is different is we got to fix her video. I'm going to show you it really quickly, and I'll sit down with you and the editors to fix it. But we need to let the editors, and I'll be doing it with them, but we just the order of her video is not okay, so we have to change it. The other thing is I want the international stuff to be in its own video. Like, here's me playing internationally, separate, like a whole separate video. Even if it's only 30 seconds, it's a big deal that she has footage just playing as an international. Then she can also keep it in her main video, but we'll have two different videos: club, high school / and then international. And then we'll mix them together also. And we got to change the order of this. In terms of the order, I'm going to sit down and go through every clip and pick the orders that I want. And we'll be able to do that because there's really good clips in here. The length is okay. The other thing is, because she is good for her level, I'd like her to get on Instagram and Twitter. And we have a list of all their Instagram usernames, and I want her to DM them. I will teach you. I'll tell you what to say, like we've done with the other students. And then the first thing, though, in the first meeting is I want signups for camps and I need to set up the video. So we just need to get her on a call so I need to find out her contact information, her coach's contact information, so we can create her video really nicely. And then we got to send it out quickly because she's going in January to the World Cup qualifiers. So I want the email going out like ideally a little bit before. It's okay if I don't know, the coaches are not going to necessarily go, but some could tune in live. So if she has her schedule, we want to send that out almost like a showcase, which is super fun. I'll help you through it, but this is a very exciting player, and we'll talk soon. Okay. Does that scare you away, Miss Mia, or excite you?
Excite me.
Okay, good answer.
It seems like you know what you're doing.
The acting, what can I say? Fake it till you make it. So it's really nice talking to you. Here's the last thing from me. If you guys don't sign up tonight or latest tomorrow, then I have to give the spot away. If you have another question in the meantime, just email me and say, hey, Zev, we thought about this. I'm happy to answer it. But if you ghost me, Mia, and I don't hear from you, then I have to give the spot away.
Where are you, Zev?
I'm in Los Angeles. I've lived all over, though. I speak Swedish. I played in Sweden for 4 years as a pro. And I've lived in Florida. I played for Tampa Bay Rowdies some time ago.
Okay.
I know that part of this process is based off where I've been really fortunate because of my college. I'm from Los Angeles, but I went to college in Indiana. Then I went pro in Sacramento, North Carolina, Florida, and South Carolina. So I met colleges everywhere I went. And then I went abroad, which I really enjoyed. And then I came back, and then I spent time in the Midwest again, at the East Coast, and in Texas. So now I have people everywhere, which is very cool.
Okay, yeah. So we'll get more videos from there. There's a showcase here in Lakewood Ranch.
Yes.
And the ECNL showcase is January 11, 12, and 13.
What date?
So we can get more videos.
What date is the World Cup qualifier?
The last week of January, the 25th.
Okay, let me make a note of that real quick. So the family were just telling me the first thing is the ECNL showcase, which is January 11th. This is actually more important. Do this first. More important. We're going to do this first. In terms of the mass email, we're going to use the mass email as a showcase email. we can talk about this as well. And then after, we will do a follow-up, but also the World Cup. So we're going to mention the World Cup qualifier. I'll help you do that. And we'll also mention it here, the World Cup, and then we'll do a World Cup specific email. I'll help you guys with that. But yeah, very exciting. Okay. Thank you for telling me that. I paused the video. Thank you for telling me that. That's big. That's really big. We'll have a lot then. So basically, here's my goal. By January 2nd, because we have Christmas, I want everything set up. Your video needs to be done. Your emails need to be written. We're not going to send them right in this today. We're going to send them on January 3rd, probably. But I want everything done, meaning your Instagram is kind of set up. It doesn't need to be perfect yet, but it has to be active. I also want to get your video done. So that way on January 2nd, we can just work on pressing send. And some emails, when you use our system, will get a kickback because coaches are changing jobs. So if you get a kickback, don't freak out. It's very normal. I'm always updating it. But like in 5 seconds ago, somebody could have gotten fired. So I just, every time at midnight, I go and update it. Sound good?
Have you created this platform on your own?
It's a good question, and I love bragging about it. Let me just, I do have another call. I just want to make sure I'm not late to the other call. Good. I didn't have the platform 7 months ago. So what happened was I was doing the same thing I'm doing with your daughter, but I would tell her she's got to manually write every email. So copy, paste. And of course it was taking forever. So then I was looking up how to do this, and I'm not a coder necessarily, but I actually taught myself a level of coding so I could build the system. And then I hired somebody to teach me how to do more coding, like a tutor, literally. And I said, here's what I want. And nobody's done it before. And the reason nobody's done it before is because, like NCSA, they want credit for your daughter. They want to say, Mia got an email and we can read it and see it. The truth is, it's your email system. Yes, I can go into your account and see, but I can't send any emails on your behalf. So, and that's for your safety. But it's also to say, it never says collegesoccerguy.org after your daughter's name on purpose because she would get less responses. And so the answer is yes, I built it myself with a lot of time and my life savings. And now we obviously are a lot more efficient because I can send a lot more emails.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. Mia, it was so nice talking to you.
Combination, if I want to look at your video, is a combination of everything.
Yeah, it is. And the technology is just a tool. Anybody could use it, and if you don't use the tool right, it doesn't help you. The biggest thing that I love doing is your daughter will have us to talk to, and you as well, every day if you want. And that's important when things get complicated, like somebody wants a phone call, somebody asks for my transcript, how do I respond? Somebody wants a full game video. You know, that's when things get spicy, which will happen in the next month or so, in my prediction. Very good, guys.
All right. So, I mean, yeah, exciting.
Yeah, exciting.
I mean, I'm here to help, and you're here to help her. So, I mean, I think she'll be in good hands.
That's correct. I'll talk to you guys very soon. I have to run, and I'll send over the contract, and we'll talk soon.
All right, thank you.
Bye. You guys who are listening live, that is a perfect student. Let me just finish this. So, Cindy, this is a perfect student. You'll really get along with her. They're really nice. This is all true. They're not on the call right now, but I just want to talk to you separately. This is all true in regards to what they need to do. The email she's going to write. So in terms of the camps, so to impress them, right? I want you to impress our clients as soon as you can. I want her to go into masters. She must go to this camp. This is a must. And I think it's booked. So she'll have to maybe go in June. She's got to go to this camp. She also needs to go to 60. She has to go to those 2 camps. They're really good. That's it for her. She's got to go. And if she can go twice, to these, it's worth it because she's very good. So that's that. Then she can go to individual camps. Like I would say, like when we make her top list of D3, have her go, even if there is no genuine interest. She's good enough. She's when you see her video, you'll see. Hopefully we'll get genuine interest though. Then the email is going to read like this. So this is for the showcase in January, which will be the mass email. Dear coach, you'll enter the name. Then you're going to say something genuine. Okay. Then this is about her. So the subject line is going to say I will say showcase name. Then to say World Cup qualifying, and then the normal stuff. Then she's going to go, dear coach, my name is da-da-da. I represent my da-da-da Trinidad and Tobago national team at the da-da-da level. That's the age. I'll just put the age there. I play for ECNL. I play for ECNL. I play as a position, and am in the I to a position. I play as position, and I am a 2028, and I am part of the 2020, and I am part of the 2028 graduating class. I'm part of the 2020 class. And then she's going to go for the D. This is, you have to do this for D1s, and then there's going to be a different one for D3s. It's a little bit different for her. So for D3s, and then she's going to go, she has really good grades. So if there's any extra accolades you can ask her about, like, are you doing something extra in school? She can mention 1 or 2 extra, or if she scored goals or something, she can mention 1 or 2 extra. And then she would say here, are you looking for for the class of position? If so, oh no, this is a showcase. Sorry, you're gonna go like this. May I have permission to shake your hand in person at the showcase? And this question, why is it blue? Okay. This question come right after the genuine. It's very important. She must ask this question. And this is actually for the same. Now, the D1 schools will tell her she's not allowed to answer questions. Let them say she's not allowed. It's fine. It's a good way for them to get to know her. May I have permission to briefly shake your hand in person at the showcase? I have attached my showcase schedule below, and then make sure you go to the template and you make sure you do it right. It has to be very specific: time, field, etc. And then I've attached my schedule below, and then I wanted you to say this: I will be representing my country at the World Cup qualifiers. Let's do it like this. This is the extra accolade. I'll be representing my country at the World Cup qualifiers on I will send my schedule for that after the showcase. And that's all you have to say. Then I've attached my schedule, showcase, and then her signature and everything else like you always do. Signature, etc. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste this for you. Signature. Okay, Command A. So that's what she's going to say. And dream client, father's lovely. They're very lovely humans. And like, they're just great family. We're going to help them a ton, and she'll be great. She'll just be a really good student. But it's important that you talk to her pretty consistently, because she does have a lot of work to do, but she's awesome. She is an awesome person. Awesome. Just freaking awesome. Okay. Okay, if you guys are still listening on the live, there's not that many of you left, which is totally fine. Quality believe there were 10. Okay. Okay. I have 3 more minutes. I'm a D1 transfer looking to play somewhere in my grad year. How do I get more interest? Q O'Hearn, book a call, or you need to book a call with us as quick as you can because you're in trouble. Click transfers. How do you get a trial for a pro team? I just help with college. Is a JUCO route going to be better? Way better. Who does she play for internationally? She plays for Trinidad and Tobago. Group B. Yeah, that's correct. How'd you know that? That's awesome. Nate, are you also doing that? Look at my highlight video. Send your highlight video to the link in the bio. Exactly. Chance of playing JUCO or D3 without playing for club. Very difficult. Okay. Let's see. You guys. How can someone get this camp info? Go on the website of the college teams and you'll see all the camp info. Or I can give you the camp info. Also, if you comment ID camp on any of my videos on Instagram, you'll get a list of camps that I recommend. second. Okay, let's see here. All right. I have 2 minutes, 2 minutos. Two minutes. Mia Lee. Mia Lee. Okay. Okay, one more call, everyone.
Recording in progress.
Mr. Smith, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm excited to talk to you. Are mom and dad there with you?
Yes.
Hi, we're here.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for your time. Very good. Thank you. I look forward to, I'm excited to talk to you all. Just
Yes, same
before,
with us.
oh, good, perfect. Before we get started, could I ask who found me first?
I've seen you on TikTok before, but when I've been starting the college process, my mom's kind of watched some of your videos, and we watched some of the videos on YouTube.
Nice. Awesome.
I'm gonna take credit. I think it was me.
Yes. Awesome, Mom. Where did you find me, Mom? Do you remember what platform-ish?
It was, I don't have TikTok. I think it was just YouTube.
Amazing. Very cool. Well, thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate that. Having said that, I kind of want to explain the agenda for today. Is that okay? There was one video I sent before this call. Did you guys get a chance to see that?
Yes.
Cool. Excellent.
Right, that was the one we worked together. Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it. So the goal today is basically 4 things. The first one being, I want to see if we're the right fit to work together, because maybe I am and maybe I'm not. That's number 1. I'm actually going to share my screen and write this out so you can see the goals, so we have it together. So are we the right fit? Are we the right fit? This is not recording, sorry. The Zoom is recording. The Zoom is recording, in case you guys want it. Are we the right fit? Then number 2 is, can I, this is the truth, can I scare you away and make you want to quit? Because then mom and dad, we don't have to do anything, and then life is really easy. And then number 3 is, by the end of the call, we have to decide if we're going to work together. And I know there's a financial piece, but the reason I say this is I want to ask you tough questions, and I want you to ask me tough questions, because that way I can answer all your questions best I can. And especially given your position, time is of the essence. So having said that, I have a couple questions for your son first. Is that okay?
Yes.
The first one being, could you just confirm your GPA with me and your grad year?
2026 and a 3.6 GPA.
Excellent. That's what I have. Awesome. And you're playing NAL and got it. I have all that here. So, and I watched your video, which we'll talk about. My first question to you is, how many phone calls have you had with college coaches so far?
I've had none so far.
Okay. And did any schools mention coming via email, coming on a visit this last fall?
No.
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 Okay.
Well, you didn't start anything.
But I really didn't start anything yet.
Okay. Good to know. Good for me to know. Now, what is it in your case, and I'll ask your parents too, what do you think you need the most help with?
I think the college recruitment process overall, it's very overwhelming and there's a lot of steps to it. So as much as my parents helped me a lot, guiding me through soccer and the process, it's just for them it's overwhelming for them.
Yeah, it is overwhelming for me, and it was overwhelming for my mother. I had a brother, and we didn't know what we were doing, and my parents didn't play sports in college, so I definitely feel that. Now, from your parents' perspective, what do you think he needs the most help with?
I would say the same thing, because I'm feeling overwhelmed for him too. We watch the videos and this and that, and I just feel where do we start? That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
With the recruitment process. And he'll tell you more that we didn't really know what to start with. So you're going to Exact Sports in Orlando. And it was just the other day, and you can tell him more, but we didn't know what to do. We watched your video. He sent the emails to the 9 coaches, and you can tell him who you heard back from and stuff.
I heard back from Weber. It was just kind of generic. It was just okay, hope to see you there. And then I heard back from Rollins, and they seemed more excited, and they invited me to their college ID camp on January 5th.
Okay, excellent.
That's all I've heard. So
we feel like at least there's a start of something.
Yeah, that's super helpful. Super helpful. And
Okay.
Rollins is a very good, people don't know Rollins. Rollins is a diamond in the rough. Very
It's
good
one of your
program.
top ones.
Yeah.
That's what I heard from
Yeah.
some people.
Yeah, we have a kid that's going to go there for next fall. And to be honest, I knew about Rollins, but I hadn't had any students there till this kid. And he told me, and I got to go, he FaceTimed me while he was on the visit. And I was like, this school, nobody knows about this school. This is a very special school. So having said that, super helpful for me to know. Which is then to say, why do you want to play college soccer so badly? This is a lot of work. Do I pronounce your name Aiden? Aiden.
Yes.
There's a lot of work, for me, for your parents. Why do you want to put us through all this?
Because I've been playing keeper for a while. I've been playing since I was 7, so I've been going through many clubs and many leagues. Especially, I've been playing ECNO for a season, and now I'm playing NAL. But one season, I think it was freshman year, I played with this one club, and the coach kind of brought me down because of the situation that happened at one of the games. And I wanted to quit really bad, but I was determined because at that moment I did want to play college soccer. So I wouldn't want a coach to ruin my dreams or what I want to do, So that same season I actually joined the ECNL team, and from there it just went really good. So
Excellent.
you didn't give up.
yeah, I never gave up.
Yeah, great example. Very good example. Right now, which team are you playing for at this moment?
Idea Sports and then the NAL.
Okay, so you're with both-ish.
No, so I moved from New York. So
I've
New York
hinted a
playing-
New York accent from Mom. Okay, I'm from New York too. I was gonna ask, but I didn't want to assume.
That's
Okay,
So I played ECNO in New York, and then I moved, I think, my freshman summer. And then I played with FKK for ECRO for a year.
Mhm.
I just kind of looked for somebody to play because I missed tryouts, and then I landed the NAL spot for Idea.
Excellent. Okay, excellent job. Awesome. Okay, super helpful. Now, I think it's important that we make it clear, and I think you guys agree with me. Would you guys agree with me that academics come first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. So having said that, with academics coming first, how come we don't lock them in a closet and only make them do school? How come Mom and Dad, you want to help them play college soccer?
Oh, asking us
Yeah.
now.
Why do you want to help them play college soccer? We could lock them in a closet and not let them play soccer at all, which
That is true.
Which is not
Um,
realistic, but
To me, I feel like, he can hold himself academically, and of course, there's always,
Oh, he could do better though.
there's always that push every person needs in academics, regardless of where they're at. But, with that said, I know deep down he can always push himself harder like he does in soccer. For every time that he feels like he may mess up in a drill, no, I gotta get myself straight again. I gotta keep push, and make myself myself better, but also make an impression on my coach or my teacher, so they know that they have a quality person in front of them, that they're saying, okay, this kid's coachable. He's I can teach this kid, or he's willing to take on the extra work, or he's willing to take on the responsibility. And I kind of feel like he has that. And then for every maybe misstep or unfortunate that may have happened throughout soccer or school, he's always taken the time to right himself from whatever that may have been. But I feel like his passion, every time he steps into training with his goalkeeper trainers, or even, looking at his academics, he's always like, you know what, I got this. I got this.
And we've seen him play for so long, and the growth and just the passion. We know you can do it. I think he's better than he even thinks he is sometimes. He got, even last night after a school ball game, the other coach actually came up to the two of us because we were talking to him and said, he's such a good goalkeeper. And so we just feel like he has what it takes. And
yeah,
right.
Yeah, I just feel like, whatever challenge comes across his way, he's willing to accept it. Now, whether he gets defeated or he wins on it, well, that's a life situation. You have to take what's given to you at that moment, but you have to learn from it as well. And then you have to work on where that left you off, and then work getting better on it,
Yeah, super well said. And one of the things that I mentioned at the beginning of the call was finding out if we're the right fit. And this is why people, on Instagram will be like, can you look at my video? And I can, of course, look at the video, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Like, look at what your son has gone through to get to this point in terms of his overcoming these obstacles. That says a lot more to me than like a save, to be honest, because there's a lot of this that's going to go through the process. And in my own career, I was playing JV soccer as a junior in high school. And then I did go on to play Division I. And I was told, like your son, I'm 5'6". So I was told my whole life, like, you're too short, you'll never make it. And I was very adamant that I would do it one way or another, just like your son.
Mm-hmm.
So having said that, what I want to do is tell you my diagnosis kind of, and what I think we need to do in your situation. Is that okay?
Yes.
So the first thing is, you are a goalkeeper, and this does make things very different.
Yes.
There's a couple of reasons it's different. First of all, your videos are going to have to be different. So I'm just going to share my screen. So the first thing is, I wrote this out before our call, is for you, we got to do the videos for you. And so I was looking at your video, and I went to your YouTube page and see if there was anything else. And that's something we are going to have to do. Now, you did a good job like trying to separate it, because I saw there was like passes and distribution, which is the headspace is there, like saves. But as a goalkeeper, it's a little different. The first minute is very important. And that means not only saves, you show the best of the best in the first minute. And that's not really what's here. On top of that, this is very discombobulated. I know you made the video. For me, it's fine. But for college coaches, this is like turning in a schoolwork that's a C+. They want a professional looking video. It says a lot. You can afford school. Your parents are invested in this process with you. So it has to look professional. So that's number one. Then the order has to change. The other thing is, it's not your fault, but like every video has this. Like, I don't need almost any of this here. I need zoomed in on you. You're the one I need to watch, not all of the bench, and it doesn't do you justice because it's so far away, and college coaches don't particularly love squinting for 4 minutes. They want to see you clearly. Now, you have one great shot. I loved it because it was like dad went into a tree almost to get the shot, or somebody did. And I love that because it was clearly you guys understand the value of the videos, and that's awesome. This one. And I can zoom in on this to make it look a little nicer, which is helpful. But the point is, the video has to be changed. And for you, you're going to have multiple training videos. Like, training videos is where just your distribution, just your saves. Like, we're going to need, most kids, what we do is we call it every touch videos. Your son will also do those, but it's going to be totally different. It's much more almost like basketball, your rebounds, then your shots. And only goalkeepers are like that. So the first thing is, we got to fix your videos. The second thing is, you guys saw the email system, I think, already. Do you guys remember watching that?
Yes.
So it helps us stay organized. We can email schools. You kind of mentioned you haven't done very much. That concerns me as a goalkeeper, because they, especially with the new roster cuts, and there's actually another new rule, which you guys, that just happened today, which is a
JUCO.
Yeah, you saw. Oh, good job. Wow, very
Yes,
good.
we saw that.
Very good.
Yeah.
So with that is a little different, because if you don't lose eligibility, one, it's an opportunity for us, but your grades are too good. So I would never have you do that anyways. But it just means that the JUCO kids will be more viable for college coaches in some cases. So anyways, it's just more people to compete with.
Yeah.
And goalkeepers, teams would have at the D1 level 4 because they just could. Now they will have 2, maybe 3, and that's it. So in your case, we just have to be mindful that now Rollins doesn't have a roster cut, so it's a little different for them, but it will affect everybody. So that's that piece. But then camps wise, I know you picked Exact. You can already see Exact literally led, no offense, to kind of nothing / an invite from Rollins. Now that could be valuable. So I'm not saying it was a waste of time, but I want to pick the camps for you from now on. And typically we want to get, especially as a junior, mass ID camps with many schools doesn't really work, especially as a goalkeeper. We got to get genuine interest and then go to their camps. Like if you go to a camp and they don't need a goalkeeper, what's the point? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Can I interject? Because I know we're starting late. I just wanted to say to you that, like, his high school coach, nice guy, not very helpful. And it turns out idea is not what he thought it was going to be. And that's why we're finally like, we need help. I know we're a little late, and I think we were going to have a little more guidance, and we just don't.
Yeah, and that's helpful for me to know. One of the reasons when I first got started, I would go to high schools and say, hey, would you like a college soccer advisor? And I'll do it for free. And then, theoretically, clients would want to work with me. And everybody said, we have somebody. And I know who they are. They're like the guy you mentioned. They mean well, but they're busy. And they don't help you every second of the day. One of the things in my model, which you guys saw already, you must speak to me every single week. Otherwise, I will fire you. They can't do that because if they promise that, they can't go to work and have a family. In my case, I'm in a relationship, but I don't have any kids. And this is all I want to do. This is what on Christmas Day, I will be doing this. This is what I love doing, besides my family, of course. But this is what I love doing. So to your point, I appreciate you letting me know. Now, the bad news, without being too rude, but I think you'll appreciate it as a fellow New Yorker, to be direct, is college coaches don't care. They only care if they can see you and if they find you. They don't care that somebody promised you to help you and didn't. They just care, I need to watch you. So my job in that way is to use the email system to catch us up and go, hey, let's email a bunch of schools very quickly, find out who needs a goalkeeper. That's also my job. That's what I research and figure out to decide, because we can't email every school. So I want to figure out which schools we should email, and your major plays a role in that too. And you've already done a couple things. Like you mentioned, you went to the camp. I need to know, I want to read the exact email you got from Rollins. I want to read the exact email you got from
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, exact is tomorrow. You're going to the camp tomorrow, and you already sent the emails. Okay. So to that end, I'll do it at the end of the call, but there's a couple things you need to do at the camp and before, and even as you walk up to the camp. I'll talk to you guys about that. And so to that saying, you're spot on. You sent the emails before, and if they responded to you, that's a good sign. So you did good. But we also want, if your video is a little bit different, maybe get more responses. And also at the end of the day, yes, you're at this stage. Who likes me? But eventually you may go to the Rollins coach and go, it's a great school, but I don't like the coach. That's really important. I don't want you to go to a school that you don't like it, even if you get to play soccer. That's not the point. The point is that you love it. Does that make sense, Aiden?
Yes.
So when people say to me, like, why do you start the process now? I go, how much time would you like to decide which coach you choose? Because in your case, when you get made an offer, you'll have 2 weeks to decide, and then they will take it away from you. I don't want you to go, well, Rollins made the offer. I don't love it, but I don't have a choice. And then say yes, because then you'll want to transfer, and it's even more expensive, and it's also uncomfortable. It's horrible. So the goal is that you find a coach you love. And the story I've told is my father had a heart attack in college. He's okay now. But at the time, it was really heavy. And my coach played a huge role. I was 18 and I needed, support. And my teammates, honestly, were really lovely. My brother had some kid who was recruited who was bipolar and pulled a gun at the school. Like, it was a horrible, like, the coach should have done a better job. And the coach himself, my brother didn't play a minute in college, which is horrible. Like, even senior day, he didn't play a minute, which is insane. And that coach was a prick. He's since been fired he was drunk on campus, and he was a horrible person for 20 years, and nobody reported it. And my brother was part of that process. So that's why I'm really adamant. Hey, like, I want you to find a coach you love. That's the whole point.
And you haven't really had that. So for you to find a coach you love, he's had like one probably in his life.
Yeah, unfortunately. Me too, to be honest. My college coach was about it.
Your college coach.
My youth coaches. And here's the beauty, and you had already mentioned overcoming challenges. You might have to go through some bad coaches in club, but college, because the point of club is to play college in your case, because that's the goal. So if you have to go through some coaches that suck, you go, but it's to play college. But after college, you're not going to really play. You could pursue the pro level. I played pro for a while, but it's never the same. Nobody cares about you. I was just a piece of meat that I was traded here and there. College, they care about you as a person. You have friends, you have relationship. It's fun. Like, it's amazing. So this is why at that point, you're not going to sacrifice your coach because you want to have a good experience in college. And it's for 4 years. Your club, it's 6 months to a year, and then you can leave. 4 years is a long time. So with that in mind, I want to stop there and ask you question number one. Have I managed to scare you away and make you want to quit?
No.
Too bad, Mom and Dad. That would have been pretty easy. So then you guys,
we're
yeah.
overwhelmed. And I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
we're
please.
overwhelmed with helping him. Your video made it maybe overwhelm me for a second. Then I was like, you know what? It's going to be more overwhelming that I can't help him. You seem to know so much.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it's not scary.
Right.
Good. That's what we want to hear. And the analogy I give you is we're going to Mount Everest, but I've been to the top, and there's going to be avalanches along the way, and we're going to get stuck under snow at some points, but I'm going to give you the water and the oxygen tank needed to make our way up the mountain, which is to say, when I'm working with students, what's important, I want to show you this really quickly. When, in your case, when I'm working with students, and you guys saw the video before, but when we're working with students, you guys have heard of NCSA before or not yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, me too.
You always click no.
Okay, good. Good. And so the biggest thing, and I think it's important because I do have my qualms with them, is the difference between us is I want to edit all your videos. Like I already described to you, I want training videos. Like I'm going to have you like your private coach you had talked about that, because I know you're coaching, like you have good coaches in your corner, is I want them to be references for you. So we'll talk about that. And like you have like relationships with college goalkeepers. This is a big deal. So we need to have you train with them and get that on video. That's a huge deal.
Tell him.
Go ahead.
Actually, for the UCF women's goalkeeper coach,
Mhm.
I have like the training with them on Sundays, only for like 2 hours.
That would be amazing if you could record that.
Gotcha.
So definitely record it. So iPhone, I can tell you which tripod to get. iPhone's fine. You don't need a camera, but you definitely have to record it. Definitely.
Okay.
That would be amazing. That would save me a lot, actually. Okay, that would be great. So excellent. So I want to edit those videos. So you'll just send me the whole raw thing, and I'll edit it for you. Then the email system. I'm the only one with the email system from your own Gmail, which is important because you'll never, if you send an email from anyone else, you'll never know if they would have opened it if it was from your own email. You'll just always have to wonder. And then you must meet with me every single week, and they only let you meet with you like twice. And then in 3 months from now, and I can only say this after getting to know you and watching your video, you're a good soccer player. So my diagnosis is you can definitely play D3. You can definitely play D2. Level-wise, when I was watching your video, there are moments of Division One-ness in this. Division One-ness is hard for a couple reasons. One, you're a little bit late. But two is exposure. If you don't get seen at showcases, you don't get recruited to D1. And NAL has a limit in regards to how many showcases. Now, the good news is NAL is older than it was like a year ago. So now your playoffs, they come to your playoffs now. So there is room for Division One, and your team is better than ECNL teams. I know which team you play for. I know they're better. But it's all about time under pressure. So if a D1 school invites us to camp, as a family, we have to discuss it and go, look, you can go to camp, assuming they need a goalkeeper. But if they don't also have a showcase, sometimes those can feel like a money grab. So we have to decide as a family, if you get an offer, though, from Rollins or a D2 and then go to a D1 camp, that's amazing. That's awesome. Because then you just tell them, hey, I have a D2 offer. I play NAL because of where I live, but I'm still really good. Then they'll pay attention to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's the job. And also D1, D2, D3, you have good grades. I want you to go to a coach you love. That is the goal here. Whether it's D1, D2, or D3, that's the point. And also you have to decide, are you willing to redshirt your freshman year to play Division One? Potentially that might be in the cards. Or do you want to play every minute of every year? That's a different world. You don't have to decide today, but that's my job. So in saying that, I want to show you what it looks like to work with me on a day-to-day. Can I show you that real quick?
Yes.
Okay. So from my perspective, this is kind of what it will look like in your scenario. So the first thing is this. You're going to get a coach. This coach is a goalkeeper coach specifically for recruiting. And the reason is I'm not a goalkeeper for one. And when I edit your video, I want to make sure I edit it to the best that it can be. And so I've hired a goalkeeper to help me do that. So you're going to talk to him every week. And also it's very different. You don't really talk to the head coaches Like you do have to talk to them because you're going to be coached by them, but your coach is really a goalkeeper coach. So it's a very different thing. Like when we email the coaches, you'll see on my email thing, like the assistant coaches, and we will know if they're goalkeepers or not. We have to email everybody because the head coach ultimately makes the decision. But your communication is very different. It's almost like, you kind of know now, you'll talk to your head coach because he's the boss, but like your relationship will be with the goalkeeper coach. Like every training is that you train with the goalkeeper. You'll go out early for training, out early for games. You're with the goalkeeper. So that's why we have a coach for that. And you're going to get me. Like you saw the JUCO rule, which was impressive. There are other rules that happen all the time. I have to look those up. I also have to go do research and find out who needs a goalkeeper for you. So I will be working for you over here. So your meetings will be with your coach, but you'll be texting with me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now we do this through an app called Discord. Your mom and dad will have a channel. I know it's kind of technologically challenged, but we'll help you click the buttons. Once you're in it, it's very easy. And then your son also is familiar with it, which is why we use it, because the kids like it. And we just want to be able to talk all the time. And my email is not going to be available as quickly because it was leaked to social media. So if you want to talk to me, it's got to be on Discord. I respond pretty quickly there. Then unlimited videos. So you are going to make a training video. And then we're going to do every touch. And then obviously I'm going to have your highlight video. And we can update your highlight video, but we were not going to add to the same video. Coaches don't want to see the same clips twice ever. You always have to make new video. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Then I want to go through game review. So like there's moments, particularly with your feet, that there's not enough moments of you distributing it with your feet that are what we would call eye-catching. Like obviously this you're really far away, and your mom did good, but like here you play a simple pass. There's actually, let me show you a better clip. This one. So this is great. It's fine that it's shaking. I like this angle actually because you're really close. And you make a simple pass. That's fine. You want to impress a college coach? This should go the other way to your right back, right to his feet, so he doesn't have to move. So I want to go through the footage with you and say, hey, look, coaches have already seen this. I don't need any more clips of this. In fact, I don't want to be this exaggerative, but if you kick this against him trying to go there and it went in, I don't care because coaches are not coming to your league games. All they need is that your good video from your league games, and then at a showcase at an ID camp, you have to perform well. Does that make sense? Now, of course, I know you won't do that, but that's how significant your video is. ID camps, they see you for 2 hours. At a showcase, they see you for 30 minutes. The rest of the recruiting is hours of video. Okay. Wow. Because they just can't, it's not a perfect world. ID camps, they see you for 2 hours and then they don't see you again for 3 months. How are they going to recruit you? They need to see the ID camps, then video, then showcase, then ID camp video, then video again. And video also is free and easy in comparison to flying for an ID camp. So the more video we have, the better it can be. And D3 schools, in some cases, especially if they need a goalkeeper, especially D2 also, they can recruit you on video alone if they really need a goalkeeper, which is helpful because it's free, basically. We don't have to go to camps. So then we keep track of everything of the Google Drive. We'll have the videos updated and everything, and then the email system. And then in your guys' case, this time next year, your son should be recruited. Now, it is possible if a new rule comes into play that he won't be, but it's unlikely. But given where we are, like this, he should be done around November 30th, December 15th is like the latest. It could be later than that, but we're an annual service. So we're with you for a year. If after the year he's not recruited because, a coach is leading him on, which can happen, we just create a custom plan. So you won't pay this again, but we'll figure it out. Maybe there's nothing to be done and your guys don't need me, which is the point. But in a year's time from now, we revisit it and decide, I'm pretty reasonable. I want to make sure he gets recruited, but that's how I operate. Does that make sense?
Right. Okay.
Okay. And then
that was going to be my question.
Yes.
I don't know if we can ask.
Please.
But you think he has a chance?
Your son will for sure play Division 3 or Division 2 soccer. Here's the best analogy I'll give you. After I fix his video and after I get to write his emails, in 3 months, I expect him on, texting with them and on phone calls. So you can ask me in 3 months. But in addition to that, if I could show his video and I could make 100% of D3 coaches watch it, I think 80% would say, who are you? And I'm very interested. If I could do the same thing with Division 2, I think 60% would be, I'm very interested. If I could do it with Division 1, I think I'm looking at 20 to 40%. Now, here's the problem. I can never make 100% of schools watch every minute of his video. But what I can make 60% to 70% of D3 schools, which means 40% to 50% like him, and then so on and so forth. And we only need one school. So in that end, my role here is to give you the best chance to get the most exposure. And therefore, if I didn't like your video or meeting you today, then I wouldn't give the guarantee that in 3 months from now, I do expect us to have genuine interest from schools we would go to. Now, with a 3.6 GPA, you're not going to go to University of Chicago or NYU because that's not realistic. But Suffolk, which you've not heard of, great business program, top 25 D3 school, very realistic. We have to now go, do they want you as a goalkeeper? Do they like your style, etc.? Also, the footage you're about to go get me with a college Division I coach does change everything, to be honest, because first of all, they'll know we're going to write in the email, like, here's me training with the UCF D1 coach or the women's and the men's. That's a big deal. That's a game changer. So ask me again in 3 months, I guess is what I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Good question.
Now, oh, I forgot.
Well, no worries. I do want to answer your question. This is the last piece from me. Then I want to hear from you.
Yes, sorry.
No,
You've
don't be.
already been with us a very long time.
Fair
We
enough.
don't have another call or?
Good question. Actually, I do have other calls, but I wanted to make sure that this was clear for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And then the last piece is, look, with your grades, and this is what your parents were talking about, improving, if you can get me a 3.7, the amount of money you get goes up by like 20K. So right now you're looking at scholarship of 20 to 40% or 20,000 to 40,000 per year, which is excellent. But if you get a 3.7, it goes up a lot. So when I say 98% of our students, this is assuming they have a 3.7, they get a minimum of this, upwards of this. So you're at a 3.6. So I'm saying if you can improve your grades, there's more money for us on the table, academically and athletically. Does that make sense?
What if he's having trouble with his PSATs, which lead to SATs?
Good question. Luckily, many of the schools, like in my case, I did really poorly on my SAT, but I had a great GPA at a 3.8 of no APs, just A's and B's. And I got a huge academic scholarship. So the answer is, look, you could make them study the SATs over and over again. It's only going to marginally improve, is my opinion. No offense, Mr. Aiden.
Right.
So I'd rather you spend your time on your GPA. If you were exceptional at test taking, so be it. Then, work on the test, and that can be helpful to us too. But if the schools, especially we're going to be looking at, because they're not Ivy Leagues, the test scores are less meaningful. Your essay will be really important, and your GPA will be really important. And soccer will be really important too. That can be a big piece of this.
Right, because you have to write an essay too.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Please.
So tomorrow there's an option I can buy like digital film for the show.
Good question.
Tomorrow.
Or is this for the ID camp?
Yes.
Well, they've also put it up for free. When you pay, they'll make you a video, and I don't think they want that.
Okay.
They'll put
Okay.
up the footage.
Okay.
For free.
Cool.
So I would just do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that is for free is fine. The answer to the question is I don't want the ID cam footage. You can't use it. It's useless.
Okay.
So, yeah. No. Okay. Okay. So, having said this, the next piece is this. From my perspective, I want to ask your son one last question. I don't work with that many students. Why do you think you're a good fit to work with me, Mr. Aiden?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of already said it, but like,
You
I
did.
don't know. I'm very passionate about playing soccer. It's like my love. I really do enjoy it. As many times I go play soccer whether with my team, friends, or just by myself, it's just a lot. So as much as I like play it and like improved a lot is a lot from when I started beginning. So I don't know. I really like it. I'm very determined. I want to see how far I can go into my soccer career. So.
And I can feel that from the story you told me before, which was excellent about how you overcame, your challenges, which is what I'm looking for. So my question is for you right now, this is actually for your parents. What do you think your son needs the most help with?
When it comes to the recruiting?
In comes to recruiting, but mainly, why do you think he's a good fit to work with us?
Oh, a good fit to work. Why? I'm just thinking for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know I was going to be asked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have something, or I didn't want to cut you off? Determination.
I think it's just, where the three of us are at this point and kind of like, where he's been steering us in regards to where he wants to play and how he wants to better himself. And he wants to find those doors of opportunity along the way for each club, regardless of where it led to him, for him, that along the way with him that, we're getting to the point in his life, like Now this is the most important part of your life, to really put yourself out there.
Yeah, and we've helped him. I'm going to cut you off there. We helped him along the way. It's always the three of us. When a club option move comes, the plus minus list, and it's always, we try to help you and you try to help make the best decisions possible.
Yeah.
And now, like I said, we're at a loss. And I think if you just had the right person, you're so coachable, you're so workable, you've done such a growth in the past, and everyone thinks you can play college. We just think he would be the right pick for you because he is so coachable, and we're here to help too. We're just not going to let him try to figure out what you're doing to
Amazing.
do on his own. We're here to back you up, and I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. That was amazing. So here's the last thing for me, and then I do want to answer your questions, is because of the limited number of students I work with, I mentioned at the beginning of the call that by the end of the call, we have to decide if we want to work together. So I want to ask, as you guys, is this something that you guys would like to move forward with?
You?
I would say so.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would
We've
definitely
kind
say
of
so.
already discussed it,
Mhm.
pending talking to you, obviously.
Yeah,
but-
and because when you went back and you showed what you wanted to touch base with and how what you wanted from him in regards to, hey, listen, I need this footage, this footage, this footage. You're going to be talking with a goalkeeper coach. I'm going to be conversing with him as well, but I'm also going to be touching base with you as well. But, then it's the email formulation and how we going to attack that, and then putting pinpoints on certain coaches, certain colleges, and where his interest and his fit is really going to be a better match, and who's going to have more eyes locked on him.
And I think just him being a goalkeeper, there has been so much in these past 10 plus years because he's a goalkeeper that he's probably had to deal with that other kids don't. And
I think it's just a
Yeah,
psychological aspect
we're
of
at a
his
loss.
position.
because I think it's going to be harder for him to get recruited than all these field players with all the open spots.
Yes.
And we even see it coming to idea. It was supposed to just be 2 of them. It's 3 of them now. He's not getting as much playing time. They're focused on the one kid who's been there that honestly is no better than Aiden. And it's just like we see what's going to happen as this goes on. And at 12th grade, you're going to graduate and you're never going to play again. And it's a waste of a perfectly good goalkeeper that would love to play.
Okay, I love that answer. So having said that, here's what I want to do. I don't normally do this, but I think you guys will get a kick out of it. You're going to obviously be meeting with your coach. So I'm going to record a little video about our meeting. They're going to watch this meeting anyways because I have them all watch it, and I'm going to meet with them also. But I think it will be fun because you'll see kind of what the exact next steps we're going to do, and I'm going to touch on what you need to do tomorrow for the camp. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to pull that up real quick. Okay. So actually, yeah, I'm going to record this. You'll get a copy of this too, but hello, Marcelo. So here is a new student of ours. He's a very good goalkeeper. Reminds me a lot of yourself, actually, when we were doing the process with you. And there's a couple things that need to happen immediately. His video has to get fixed, there's black spaces and stuff, and we got to zoom in. We also have to, you'll get a copy of his video, but we have to make the first minute excellent. And there's plenty of excellent footage, but he split it up into chapters, which we don't want to do. So the first minute we have to make excellent. Then the rest is good. Then he's going to get training video soon from a UCF women's and men's coach. He'll get us that footage and we'll put that together. If you talk to him, you can just confirm that's happening, but it is happening. Then he's going to ACT ID camp tomorrow. Today is December 20th. And what he needs to do, actually, so I want them to know this, at the camp, go up and tell them you are the one that exchanged emails. That's why we write the emails, because then they can put a face to name. So you would just say gently, hi, coach, we exchanged emails earlier. I am excited to work with you today. And that's it. Then you can just walk away. Then make sure you help with all the gear. And then it depends. If they sign up today, I'm going to send them a document. And in it is like a little baby video about what we do for ID camps, which is what we would tell them in a meeting anyways. But I'd have them click on this section and in this section, we just talk about like tips for the ID camp that I want him to do, what to wear and what to say and what to ask during the camp. So if they sign up, I'll send them that today. And then the other thing is his club team, he's switching, like he's sharing time with another keeper, which is very normal. That's fine. If he's got showcases, I want to know. But the big thing is we got to get his email fixed, and we're going to be emailing D3s and D2s right away. We can do the D1s a little bit later. Once we get interest from the D3s and D2s. But he got to do this. He already has interest from Rollins, and they invited him to a camp. The short answer is he should go, but we want to follow up with more video. And Rollins invite him to a camp, but he's going to see him at Exact. So we'll see how that goes. So we can debate if that's what we should do, if he likes the coach and whatnot. But the big thing is we got to get his email fixed and send this off, because he's running out of time, as you know, goalkeepers, but also once we got to fix his video, which I'll help you do. Okay, excellent. All right, so if that, Aiden, you shouldn't be too scared. I know that's a lot, but I'll go over that with your coach regardless, so you'll be fine. But from the next step from me is you're going to get an email with a contract, and the contract basically just says if your grades drop below a 3.0, we're done. We cannot work together, or GPA your parents agree on. If you don't get me more video, which you're going to do this weekend, then I would have to not be able to work with you because I can't help you without video. And then if you don't show up to the meetings for whatever reason, like over and over again, you're fired. And then finally is if in 3 months from now you're not being genuinely recruited, which is not an offer, although I do anticipate that happening in the next 6 to 7 months. What I'm saying is in the first 3 months, for us to know if this is working, is I expect you, coaches saying, we like your video. We want to get on a call with you. What's your transcripts? Can you come on a visit? Can you come to a camp? But like, we need a goalkeeper, those types of conversations. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. Excellent, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. Any other questions for Mom or Dad?
I have one about Rollins tomorrow. So he shouldn't respond back by email about coming to the camp?
Yes. Definitely respond and say, thank you so much, Coach. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Definitely.
And then what about the January 5th? Because that's what he invited him to.
He's going to see the Rollins coach tomorrow, correct?
Right.
For now, don't worry about the January 5th one. Just say, thank you, Coach, for the invite. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. That's it.
Okay.
Then after that, as a team, if you're working with me, we'll talk about how the camp went, and you can tell us what you feel, and then we'll decide if we should go to the Rollins camp.
Okay. And then last question, all 9 coaches tomorrow, does he go up and say, I'm the one that we exchanged?
If you can.
Even if they didn't write back?
Yeah, or if they didn't write back, then you just say, I sent you an email. I'm looking forward to seeing you today. If they you may not get a chance to go up to them. It's very possible they get pretty strict about that.
They do have a welcome session where they're allowed to talk to them.
Well, never mind then. Then definitely, when you say, go, hi, Coach, I sent you an email. I know you're really busy, but I really enjoyed being here today. The reason it's extra good is showing them you sent an email means you like them, and that's good for them to know. But the coaches that responded, that's double. You get 2 points for that because they responded to you. So that's great. And if they didn't respond, don't worry about it. We will follow up after. The one thing I'll say is, depending on when the welcome thing is, this is the most important question you need to ask. What level do you believe I should aim for? Do not ask for feedback. I don't care if they think you should improve your feed. I can teach you that stuff. I need to know if they want to recruit you. And if you say to them, will you recruit me? They won't answer the question because they're too, they just don't.
I watched that video.
Nice. So ask them, what level do you believe I should aim for? Then they'll hint at you whether or not they like you, and you'll actually find out as a family, which is, soccer subjective. I'm telling you your son's D3, D2, non-negotiable, D3, D1 maybe. Coaches may go, I think you're Division 1. If 5 coaches say that, my job is only to get you exposure. My opinion only matters to start your list. As we get feedback, we can adjust the list.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Very good, everyone. It was very nice talking to you all.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I look forward to talking to you very soon.
Yes, us as well. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Real quick. So I made this video addressing your name. we're going to confirm, Marcelo, if it's you or another coach. So if it's another coach listening to this, like Hayden, just know it. Part of it is, as I'm on the call with them, I'm impressing them. So which has to do with sales. When I say, I worked with you on this, yes, that's because I worked with you on this, and that's important. And I want them to know all the work we're doing together because it's a lot of work, and I want them to be impressed because we're going to do amazing things with them. The template for him will be pretty normal. Normal stuff. He just got his email out. He's got to do that quickly, just given his grad year. But he's a great kid, really nice family. Give them a 10 out of 10 in terms of wanting to work with them. Great family, excellent. And I'll put the notes here, and we'll talk soon. Okay, everybody listening on the live, I am hungry, so I am going to get some food. Boom, 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 boom.
Hey, Zev. So today's actually probably too busy. I've been making pancakes for the kindergarten pancake breakfast all morning. And then I have my classes, and now the principal wants me to go fix a fake snow machine. I don't know. She's dressed like Frosty the Snowman. I don't even know what's going on, and I don't know why I have to fix it. But so today's probably not going to work for a phone call, but I can always do these little audio message guys. Anyway, hope you're having a good day.
What's up, everyone? We got a few more people here listening. Okay, let's see here. Let me help this guy. Did you move houses? Yeah, I did a pretty long time ago. We all know that D1 soccer players that are from America are bench players. They only want to get minutes. I'm seeing myself D1, majoring in physical therapy, which is a bad job. I'm seeing myself as a D1 player, then majoring in physical therapy, which is a bad job. Sultan Kosin, there's all truth to that, to be fair. Can you talk about the JUCO route? It is a very good option, especially if you don't lose eligibility now. I mean, he's hot, so why not? What are you guys talking about? I don't know. That's what I thought. Okay. Is that a? Oh, no, it's from Graston. I got a massage on my neck with a tool they use. When you play a lot of soccer, they use a tool. And because of that, it relieves a rash. I know it does. I'm not going to lie. It does look like that. But it's when you get there's this tool that they use. Yeah. Okay. Let's see, Millridge. Okay, hello. Mr. Pringle. Mr. Pringle, I haven't seen you sign up yet. Let me know if you plan on signing up, Mr. Pringle, you and your family. Let's see. Okay. You give stupid advice. That's unfortunate. Jack Soccer. Ball University. Okay. Should I start emailing college coach as a freshman? Yes, Molly, you should, but it does depend on your grad year. Your club level. I need to see your club level. So you'd have to book a call. Okay, I think that's everybody. All right, everyone. You mentioned D1 development earlier. Can you explain what that is? Oh, D1 development. Someone else actually asked me what he was explaining was that some Division I schools have a reserve team, and they call it D1 development. So because it's D1 development, he was saying, should he go to D1 development, which is a reserve team of a D1 school, or junior college? And I said that before the JUCO rule, he'd be better off joining the D1 team as a reserve player. But now with the new JUCO rule, there's a debate on that. Thank you for the fallback. I appreciate it. You're welcome, Cash. How should I reopen contact with a college coach after a month or two? Send every touch video. Develop Molly. You play ODP and you just ECNL. So you play ECNL. So Molly, yes, you should be going to camps for sure. For sure. Definitely go to camps, Molly. For sure. That would be good for you, Molly.